Hi, we're Gregg and Mena Warmbier from Sarasota, Florida. My background is actually in business consulting for the past 30 years working with businesses.
And I'm an attorney from South Africa, and I still am practicing for South Africa.
Yes, and so what's interesting is that I actually took a look at this product. My wife and I took a look at it, but really I took a look at it specifically because I had a car accident back in 2016 that damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Someone plowed in the back of my car. Unfortunately, later on I had an injury, my knee, and also with my hip. And my friend told me about this amazing technology, the X39 stem cell activation patch, and literally everything changed in my life. 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. So we actually started taking a look at this, and what we want to share today is some of the things that we found out about, specifically about obviously the technology and everything else. So the biggest question that we have is, have you been patched yet? And so what we did is we started looking at finding out more about the company, also about David Schmidt, who's the CEO and inventor of the X39. He's got now actually claimed over 200 patents, about well over 130 patents, a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. Thank God for people like that, right? And in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And literally this one product, the X39, took 10 years and $4.5 million of research and development. When I told my wife about this, she was pretty skeptical, but then she found out a little bit more about the patent.
Yes, being an attorney, I don't really just believe anyone's word, and so you have to prove this to me. And then I realized, it has a patent and it's registered in the US. It has a number. It was registered in July of 2020, and it had a 20-year run, right now a 15-year run on it. But when I saw paragraph like this particular paragraph, I began to wonder, there must be something to this, because you cannot register a patent on a product that you have not proved is one of a kind. And you also cannot say things like this particular paragraph: embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improved wound healing. You can't say those things unless you have actually done the testing and the trials to prove that in fact happens. So I was definitely open to more information.
Yeah. And so as we researched it, we didn't realize that as you age, your stem cells become more and more dormant. So by the time that you're 30, you basically have now half the stem cell activity you had when you were younger. And by the time you're 60, of 5 to 10% maybe. So as you start activating your stem cells, your body starts acting younger. Thus all the different benefits and results that we've got.
So how does X39 work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy, and that is light therapy. A lot of people are talking about light therapy for healing. Patented nanocrystal technology, completely natural. It's all organic. It reflects our own light to activate. It's not transdermal, doesn't put anything into the body, no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, not invasive. And we say we have to give the disclosure that Lifewave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition.
And it's interesting. We experience phototherapy every day when we go out in the sun. The sunlight hits our skin, which is our biggest organ, and elevates things in our body like vitamin D, right? So what's interesting about that is we experience that while this patch, our own body emits light, so it actually reflects, hits the patch, reflects back in, and activates these copper peptides that activate our stem cells. It's actually amazing. So some of the benefits of X39 that we've seen, again, and we could have pages of this, but this is some of the ones we talk about: is increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, and improved skin appearance. And this is really to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
So this is a topography map. It was to show inflammation in the brain, and David Schmidt asked the participant, a 77-year-old woman, to wear the X39 at the back of her neck, because when he did his trials, he had to be consistent in the way that he carried it out. And so with this particular individual, it was put the X39 on the back of her neck, and a scan was taken prior to her putting that X39 on, and that is what the brain looked like at session 1. And David explains that the reds and the bright oranges are actually inflammation in the brain. So there is a lack of brain coherence. The same woman just wearing the X39 every day in, every day out, and staying hydrated, drinking good water, At session 2, which is 3 weeks later, you see a lot of those reds and oranges are no longer there. So meaning that there is no more inflammation and definitely improved brain coherence. The brain cells have been activated. Session 3, just 6 weeks later, all this lady did was add the X39. She didn't change her diet. She didn't take additional supplements. And there is a complete turnaround and much better brain coherence. When she came in, her brain was hyperactive, and then it started to calm down dramatically at session 2, which was 3 weeks later. And after wearing it for 6 weeks, her brain just remained, it was in a completely balanced state of calmness.
Amazing. And so some of the long-term studies that you can see in the results are on the case studies on this is at info.com, but within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger state. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced like they showed there. And within 6 months, within 3 months, your collagen levels increased dramatically. It works better than any kind of supplement out there by increasing the collagen level in your own body. And also within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. This has been huge. We had so many different testimonials. That's what David Schmidt says. This is not anti-aging, but it's age reversing. That's a pretty bold claim, but he can back it scientifically.
So how do we actually wear the X39? We wear the patch on for 12 hours, preferably in the day because you want to activate and stimulate, and 12 hours off at night to repair and rejuvenate. Then you throw the patch away, you put a new patch on, and you keep repeating that. You drink plenty of good water and make sure that it has additional electrolytes, because if it's stripped of all the minerals, you're actually not assisting your body, and you do need additional electrolytes. They do talk, well, in these graphics here, you see the patch is worn underneath the belly button or behind the neck. But David actually says, you can put it where it hurts.
Yep.
And then some people are, sometimes wearing more than one patch, but it's not necessary. If you feel you need to stick one where it hurts and one at the back of your neck, it's completely fine.
Absolutely. And so where's this information you get is go to thisisitinfo.com. There's all the testimonials, a lot of information in there, medical doctor section, everything else to take a look at, the patents in there. That was the thing my wife did, looked at the patent and everything else. So we recommend going there.
So Lifewave is the name of the company. When we got started, we didn't know too much about this company, but we soon found out that it's a 20-year-old company, open in over 75 countries. And, at the time that X39, you saw the patent was registered in 2020, the company was sitting at $20 million US. With the introduction of this, the company closed in 2024 around 600 million US with the introduction only of the X39. That's the only thing that changed for the company. So there's growth of over 580 million US dollars in 4 years, meaning that people are using this, people are experiencing it, and people are sharing this. And the company is predicted to grow to over $1 billion US this year. The other thing that we love about it is that nobody else has this. It is exclusive to us. So we're not sharing a skincare or a supplement or a CBD. Those are great products, and those products have their place. But when we talk about the X39, everybody leans forward and says, oh my goodness, what is that and how soon can I get it?
Yeah. And so what's great is the company itself has actually grown to the #1 momentum rank in the whole industry. And we actually won what's called a DSN 2024 Global Bravo Awards for being the #1 growth company. Just won it again in 2025. It's pretty amazing. So the one thing we want to talk about, once again, you really want to think about what's most important in your life, because we're going to talk about the opportunity as well. So you really look at the words here. Once again, the #1 word for us always has been family. Spending time in South Africa with my wife, being able to have freedom for me was something I was looking for, because you might be in a job you don't really care for. And for me, that's what I was looking to do. And within 14 months, was able to replace my 6-figure income 2 months later, not having to work a job anymore, which is absolutely amazing. So walking into freedom, and freedom is real. But whatever's most important in your life, talk to the person who introduced this to you so they can talk to you more about that. And what we're going to do is share a little bit more about how the money's made. There's really 4 ways you make money. There's also incentive trips, other things like that. But we're going to talk once again by building a business. And what we do is we build teams. And the teams are basically set up so that you build what's considered a right team And then a left team is by building a right team, you get registered as a brand partner. Now you get the product at wholesale, which is a great advantage. Then you also can bring someone on the right and bring them in, and bring someone on the left and bring another person on the right, another person on the left as brand partners. So basically just getting started, 4 people to go manager is very big. And you can make up to $1,500 a week as a manager, and it just grows and grows and grows to the time you can actually make up to $2,500 a week from this part of the business. Very significant. It doesn't happen overnight. We can't promise anything, but the income from this is huge. There's other ways to make additional income, but it's a pretty massive opportunity.
So how does one get started? Pretty simple. We do have an application form, and this is an example of that. There are 3 ways that you can get started. You choose the package that best fits your pocket. Now, if you're saying you do understand this and you do want to share with a number of people, you may want to start at the advanced package, because that will give you and your spouse and a few other people an opportunity to experience it. And that particular package actually opens you up to benefit with every single payout that the company offers. Then there is also the core package. Now, the core package is, usually for the person who says, what, I actually just want to experience it first for myself. And that's great, but you're going to get it at the wholesale price. None of these packages are at retail price. And that's the beauty of this, because we want everybody to have the ability to experience it. Now, when you get started at a core or an advanced, you can always upgrade all the way to premium. And premium was for the serious entrepreneur, which is what we decided to actually go with. And that gives you 20 sleeves, 20 of these, which each have 30 patches inside. And the wonderful thing is that we could just go out there straight away and place and replace with different people that we love, that we care for, and that we want to experience what we experience by using this product. And then when theirs comes in, they get started, theirs comes in, they give us back our 1 month supply. And we were able to place and replace many in our first month. And actually, we made our first investment back, completely paid in full, right out of the gate. And the other wonderful thing is that all these packages do come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's no risk to this. I don't know one business. I mean, I'm in business, he's in business. We could not start our business for $1,750.
Yeah.
And minimal overheads. In fact, almost no overheads whatsoever. And it just is absolutely mind-blowing, such a blessing to so many people. The other important thing is to stay on a monthly subscription, because it keeps you active, it keeps you benefiting from everything that is going to happen underneath you in your binary, which is the 2 legs, the left leg and the right leg.
Yes, and what's great about this, again, another way to make money is that when we sign someone up, how we made our money back very quickly is that when you sign up someone on premium, you make $405. When you sign someone up in advance, you get $75. When you sign someone on the core, you make $35. So we actually signed up several premiums, several advanced, several cores, and made that money back in 2.5 weeks. Our first month pretty much doubled that. So it's amazing when you think about the amount of money you can make. So really, you make the choice what works best for you. So really, there's a couple different parts to the business. We have the This Is It info site you can look at for just informational purposes only on the X39. And then we have a team website that explains the system of how we build this business. You can go there also, thisisitteam.com. We recommend that you go there. So the last part to this is really, it's about, it's time to make your move. If you're serious about your dreams and you're serious about those things we were talking about, there really is hope for your future. So we want you to get started, with X39. So we're very excited that the person who invited you to share this video with you want to get back together with them, that can answer some questions, but have them, again, application. They'll basically fill it out for you, get you started on this. There's no risk whatsoever. $200 a month is our monthly cost, and it's absolutely brilliant. So it was great sharing with you today. So God bless you. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.